This is Edirne, the second capital of the Ottoman Empire, a fortifying city against the defending Europeans, a springboard to the west. Named after Hadrian, the Roman emperor, this city has remained a main focal point for over 2,000 years.
The westernmost part of Turkey is a bordering province between Greece and Bulgaria, and is a mere 2-hour drive away from Istanbul. Its royal past, architectural imprint, and festive nature draws thousands of tourists each year. For nearly 100 years, from 1362 till 1453, this city had served as the seat of the Ottoman Empire. Even after the transfer of the capital to Istanbul, at the conquest of the city led by Sultan Fatih Mehmet, Edirne remained both a strategic stronghold against the formidable enemies of the Ottomans and a flourishing city favored among the sultans as an escape from political Istanbul. Until an earthquake had greatly devastated the city in 1751, this city was a main focal point at all levels of Ottoman life.
The thing about Turkish bazaars, you can find everything. A little bit of tradition, such as here, blue jeans and modern day clothes, lokum and Turkish delights, and even something for the psychedelic 70s disco party goer. Look at this one, like a real peach. It even smells like a real peach. Watermelon. Like a real watermelon. I'm impressed. Now the hard part is to pick one for a gift. I think I'll pick something small for the airplane, you know, fit in the baggage or something. Bunu alıyorum. Has some grapes in there, some apples.
Paket mi olsun, poşete mi koyacağım?
Poşet. Daha iyi olur. Service. He's even asking if he should wrap it or if he should put it in the bag. I told him just to put it in the bag. So. The thing about these, again, as he mentioned, they're all different colors, different fruits in them, so you have your choices and your variety. Çok sağ ol, kolay gelsin. So, we have what we need from here. Now it's on to the next point. Strawberry.
Evet.
The portakal.
Portakal.
Elma.
Kivi.
Oh, kiwi. Kiwi çok güzel ya. And this?
Muz.
Banana. Nasıl yaptırdın?
Bilmiyorum. Buyurun.
Sağ ol. Nasıl? Great. I don't know how I can talk after this. It's stuck at the top of my palate. Really sweet. If it was any colder, it could be ice cream. Çok güzel. But how does one eat this? It's impossible. Okay, bırak. Just gonna get clogged up in my arteries. I'm gonna have a cavity or two. It's too sugary. I'm gonna be hyper now, you know that, right?
Our first visit is to the Mosque of Selim II. Finished in 1574, this is the largest mosque in all of Turkey, occupying an area of some 24,000 square feet in the interior, and a dome that spans more than 31 meters in diameter. This golden box of pure gold was used as a safety net for the upkeep of the mosque. Should funds not be available or impossible to acquire, this box was sacrificed. But as our guide points out,
in most of the Ottoman mosques, there is a golden piece. It has an aim. The architects think that when our sons, when our grandsons have to repair that mosque, and when they don't have money to repair it, they will use it and repair the mosque. Because of this, most of the mosques include a golden piece. The golden piece of the Selimiye is here.
And it's made of pure gold.
Pure gold, but it was. Because until the Bulgarian attacked to the Edirne, it was standing there. But before that attack, Turkish army thought that when Bulgars are in Edirne, they will take it to the Bulgaria.
Right.
So Turkish army took it and sent it to the Anatolia. All we know is that it was sent to Anatolia. That is all. And it is the end. In order to represent that lost golden box, there is something from iron.
Okay.
And this window directly looks to the grave. It is a message for the second Selim. Don't forget that. And in the upside of the entrance of that room, there is a saying from Holy Book Quran. It says, in the meaning, it says, in the doomsday, none of your sons protects you, none of the things you have protects you, but something protects. A good heart.
A good heart.
And in the Arabic version of this saying, in the original version, the saying ends with Min Kalbin Selim.
With the heart of Selim.
And Selim is the one who has built that mosque.
Right.
It is something, again, represent something like a football game between them.
Built to monumental proportions, the minarets are symbols of Ottoman strength. Specialists were needed early on for the construction of the minarets, which were placed and settled before the foundations of the mosque even were. The immensity of the dome is immediately felt upon first entrance. It is essential to the impression of the limitless, but the main attraction of the dome may very well be with how everything else swiftly arises from this central space.
Coming in here, I get a feeling of being in a sanctuary. There's a lack of color on the walls, very just white stones, and also the stained glass windows help with it. This may be a reason why there is a lack of windows here. The sun would hit the stained glass windows, giving a fantastic hue, a fantastic impression inside the mosque here. Two massive columns lie in the center of the mosque here. What's interesting is the history. During World War I, when the Bulgars had occupied Edirne, they had used this mosque as a horse stable. It would hold horses, and they would use metal pieces like this to chain down the horses. Interesting. Another great thing about this mosque is the acoustics. The sound just reverberates because of the single dome structure up ahead. Another interesting thing, just like other mosques, every part is unique and singled out with its different patterns and variations. The doors on here reflect a floral motif. It is the only door within this mosque leading to a window bay that has that floral motif. Another interesting thing is, one of the greatest Turkish spiritual leaders had lived here for 2.5 years. This small space, very confined, but yet he lived simply and contently for 2.5 years. Remarkable. The three architects who had designed this mosque had on the very same night dreamt about 3 angels continuously coming and going where these columns are placed. To keep people from standing in these positions, they had placed columns here. We now find ourselves at Sultan Bayezid II's complex, a multi-purpose facility opened in the late 15th century. Home to a university, a mosque, a kitchen for the poor, public baths, and more importantly, its most important feature, the health center.
hay tükenmeyiz kırma ile hey canım tükenmeyiz kırma ile eyvallah hey dost taşramızdan sorma.
What kept this medical complex for the mentally ill so advanced and so unique was its attention to music. Staff members here had discovered that different instruments along with different musical styles had various results for the mentally ill. Of the many forms of unorthodox forms of treatment provided to the mentally ill, one of them was through a pharmacy. Opened 2 days out of the week, they provided herbal treatments for the mentally ill. Adjacent to the pharmacy, or what they call the taffy shop, is the laboratory. Here, a staff member would act as an alchemist and concoct some type of medicine for the mentally ill. While the Chinese used water as a form of torture, the Ottomans were innovative in using water as a form of treatment. In addition to music, the sound of water was a soothing comfort to the soul and the mind. Edirne, Europe's gateway into Turkey. And what better time to be in this great city than to be here during the start of one of their greatest festivals, the wrestling matches. For 645 years they've been doing this, playing music and celebrating wrestling. Look at this baby. American wrestling has nothing on this. Each year the winner wears this, and upon winning it 3 years consecutively, they take it home. This is the procession that leads up to the wrestling match. Behind us we have the city officials like the mayor, and even behind them we have more musicians dressed in Ottoman-style themes. In front of us we have, those who play wind instruments such as horns and whatnot. There's no better time to come to Edirne, but during the Kures Wrestling Tournament. This is where all the excitement is. This is where everyone comes to see people wrestle. Now the story behind the start of this is after the conquest of Edirne from the Bulgarians, two soldiers, I guess they were totally free of time. They greased themselves up and they wrestled endlessly for hours. Both of them died of exhaustion, and to commemorate them, the other soldiers a year later started this Kures Wrestling Tournament. These are the biggest players.
2002 tarihi Kırkpınar Başpehlivanı.
They're like bulldogs.
2002 tarihi Edirne Kırkpınar Başpehlivanı.
I heard among one of these, one of them who's won the tournament at least 4 times. He's even taken, the huge golden belt.
Dün de anons etmiştim.
It takes a lot of strength to do this.
En genç başpehlivanı. Dün izlediniz.
To grip the opponent,
Çok güzel
to
güreşler
throw him down, to lock him down.
Antalya'nın yıldızı, Muratpaşa Belediyesi'nin pehlivanı Recep.
Muhammed Altun, İstanbul. Allah Allah, illallah. Geleceğin şampiyonlarına alkışlarla diyelim maşallah. Haydi Allah tamam etsin.
This is an emotionally and adrenaline-filled sport. Preparing and during the rituals are the giants of the league. This must have been what a battle would have looked like. You have the sound of the beating drums, these huge gladiators. The objective of the sport is to have your opponent's shoulder touch the ground, or to defend yourself against your own shoulder from touching the ground.
Abi geçin abi.
What better way to get around than on 4 wheels and 8 legs, and in style. Listen to the music. A beautiful sunset. Perfect for a horse-driven carriage ride. Now there's 2 main rivers in Edirne. We had just crossed one of them, which is Meriç. The other one, the smaller one, is